Mandates make vaccines political. When you take away somebody's right, you have made it no longer just a medical question. You've made it a legal one. You've made it a political one. When you argue vaccines should be mandated and somebody's rights should be taken away on the basis that a vaccine is safe and effective, you've now made the safety and efficacy no longer just a medical question. You've made it a legal question. You've made it a political question. That's probably in part why you find me here today as a lawyer speaking about this topic. When you mandate vaccines and you eliminate exemptions, you destroy confidence. Look at countries like Denmark, numerous other European countries, many other provinces in other developed countries. They don't have mandates, and they have very high uptake rates. There's far less controversy there about vaccines. There's no controversy in America about maternal screening. I didn't hear anybody talk about the concerns that people would be issues with maternal screening. Why? Because nobody's mandating it. They're recommending it. They're encouraging. They're persuading on the merits. And who do mandates impact? They impact not those who want to get the products. They impact those who most need to avoid it. And the reason I bring this up is because what ACIP does and then what the liaison members do filters down often into mandates, directly by some of the liaison members and indirectly by what the work of this committee does when they make routine recommendations. And those folks who most need to avoid their products, what happens to them? Because oftentimes, and these are folks who contact our firm who are injured by a vaccine, those in the medical community, and I've heard some of them today and yesterday, they just pretend like they don't exist. This vaccine's safe. As if the father who talked about this child dying, how about the parents whose child died of a Hep B vaccine who was compensated not long ago in the VICP program, not on the basis of a table injury, not on the basis, as I heard it earlier yesterday, of some kind of, a settlement, but on proving the vaccine killed their baby. It was a newborn. It was just given the Hep B on the first day of life that died from that vaccine. But the medical community often, to avoid vaccine hesitancy, does not give. Those folks feel like they're as if they don't exist. Every one of them, then they get kicked out of school, kicked out of their jobs. Things are said about them that are not always very nice. And those are the folks who then go and tell their stories. And their stories then can result in what folks describe as vaccine hesitancy. But they're really people who are trying to be heard, and mandates are the precipitator for what often results in that. And so liaisons, what I would urge is that for the liaison members in particular, to adopt policies that provide that they should persuade on the merits of these products and not coerce folks to do it. I'll wrap up in a minute. And I think that that's critically important if they want to increase vaccine confidence. After all, they have billions of dollars of federal government money and state health agency money and of their own money to promote these products. So they should be able to persuade on the merits.